I didn't have a choice, guys. Episode 2 stayed in the top for a very long time, but after this, it was clear from the get-go. In my mind, no episode in the entire season made me laugh harder than I did for feeling Pinkie keen. There is so much to talk about how absolutely bonkers this episode is. Alright, but that doesn't mean the episode is perfect. I still have some problems with it. My biggest issue is the pacing. There are many scenes that just go on for way too long and feel like they're just wasting time. Like the scene when they're walking in the forest and they're just talking about how Fluttershy would just explode. I'm like, please, shut up. I just want to see the story. Also, Applejack is kinda useless in this. I can see Fluttershy being here because she actually did some stuff a part of the story. I can understand Rarity, Rainbow Dash, and even Gummy not being in the story because this has nothing to do with them. But for Applejack, it's just weird. She's just there tagging along for no reason. Also, how did the cellar door open? I don't see anything that would cause the door to open in the first place. No lever, no button, no anything. Okay, enough with the nitpicks. Now to explain why this is my favorite of the episodes. First, Pinkie's senses. I love them. I love them more than you can possibly imagine. It's easy to say that this is Pinkie's best episode by far. Every single scene involving the senses is golden. Applejack and Spike's reactions to Pinkie's senses always make me laugh. And I especially love that Spike picks it up immediately too and not just studies it like what Twilight did. And all of the events surrounding Pinkie's senses aren't completely random and stupid. All of them are pretty natural and make sense. Even though I found it distracting that the frog carriage was floating with Fluttershy. What? Speaking of Pegasi, this is actually the first episode to feature Derpy with her cross eyes. Derp. One of the scenes I think of the most is the Wild Pinkie skit.
Scientific name? Pinkius pyagus, in its natural habitat.
It just feels like an episode of National Geographic, and Pinkie knowing Twilight was spying on her the whole time was even funnier. Moving on with the story, Pinkie gets this huge sense no one knows about. They refer to it as the doozy, and they all try to figure out what it is. I was gripped into thinking what the doozy could tie to. What could it be? We'll get to that later. Let's turn to the Hydra. Yeah, this is a pretty solid villain. It's also a pretty funny villain since the four heads don't get along well. The Hydra does up the stakes in many ways, pressuring Twilight to jump only to recover in a super cartoony style. Back to the doozy. What is it? Is it the Hydra? Twilight almost dying? Apparently, it was none of them. It was the fact that Twilight had to accept the Pinkie senses and just give up on studying about them. I think this is her best character arc in the season. Bottom line is, this episode has so much going for it. The comedic timing is absolutely fantastic, the story is great, the characters are hilarious, the Hydra is a pretty good villain, etc.